So, hello? Hello, hello? Yeah, I just got a notification from OBS about disconnecting. So Len's now into the final set of corners, flat out to the start finish straight. He will finish that lap. Goes out very tight line to the finish and does not improve. Actually loses 1.1 seconds to his previous lap. Liran, unfortunately, setting no time today. Shadowstorm improving his sector 2 time, up 2 temps already, through to the finish line, and that is a 128.8. An amazing lap by Shadow, as always. Only person who can catch him now is Sogi. 4 temps up from his previous time, so that could be enough if he gets a decent exit. He's already used his ERS deploy, this won't be it. Never mind that. I've been proven wrong once again. Sogi's setting the fastest lap for 128.8. Almost the same as Shadowstorm, but he gets pole by, what was it, 600ths of a second. So good job there. So let's look at the incidents. There's just a lot of invalidations. No collisions, unfortunately. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. But yeah, that's an interesting grid. I mean, everyone's gonna score points today. So... as we are preparing for our race, 30 seconds till lights out. So this is gonna be interesting. What are your predictions? Who is gonna win, please? Please tell me. Stream cut out apparently. Stream should be back actually. Yeah, so for everyone asking, the stream did unfortunately cut out as we have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Shadowstorm stalling off the grid. Sogi getting an amazing start, fighting against Shoot, gets through the Shoot, gets real down the inside, leaving Sogi no space at all. Sogi pushed wide and losing that position as Larknight makes a move on Santi in the back. Sogi now most likely incredibly annoyed at that as there is a spin, and that's Shadowstorm. Shadowstorm are P2. Yeah, already at the back of the grid, as there's a lot of fighting going on here at the back. Lewis Celtic ghosting, almost going through Liran. As Lenz makes a move down the inside of Lewis. Lewis going a bit wide there, making it stick. Shadowstorm or almost running into the back of him. As let's see here, there's a lot of moves being made. Shadowstorm already passed Lewis now. Not Earth catching up to the pack ahead with Larknight closely following behind. Not Earth a cheeky little move there from Not Earth, making Sogi think that he's gonna dive bomb him. Well done. Well done, Not Earth. That's right out of a professional playbook there. Asogi catching up to Jude, but just does not get enough speed on that straight there. Sogi now in close pursuit of Jude. There is another DRS zone coming up now. DRS is now enabled. Let's actually see what tires everyone is on, as Lewis is already in the pits. Tires as Jude is on the soft, Sogi on the hard, so that's going to be an interesting strategy to play out there. Not Earth on the softs, Larknight on the mediums, Hassan on the hards, Santi. Oh, as there's a collision between Juice and Santi. Unfortunate there. I don't think anyone's got damaged as Santi gets squeezed to the inside, and Liron just runs into the back of him. Shadowstorm running into the back of Liron, locking up. Shadow is gonna try making a move down the inside with DRS, but he just does not manage it. So back of the grid is incredibly close, as Sogi has small enough of a gap to make a move down the inside of Jude. Jude not fighting that. Yeah, smart move from Jude. He is never gonna make that defend against that. However, now Jude only 3 times behind Sogi, 4 times. He's losing time. He's losing a massive amount of time. Now with DRS he is going to catch up a bit, but I doubt it will be enough. Yeah, Sogi just continues, as Nodorf and Larknight are now fighting it out for that additional podium position. Now remember now, as Larknight runs into the back of Nodorf. So, our grid order right now is Sogi retaking his lead, making a massive gap to Jude. Jude just can't keep up on those soft tires. Jude in P2, Not Earth P3. What is he now? A McLaren driver, I believe? I'm not entirely sure. As Larknight makes a move down the inside of Not Earth, taking that podium position all for himself. Not Earth is not going to be able to fight back there, Larknight with DRS, but he still tries to, makes the smart decision and backs out. King Hassan closely following behind. He is hoping to capitalize, as Jude is our first driver to make a pit stop. Now remember, drivers have to use all the available tire compounds, so softs, mediums and hards, as Santi has spun it. And I don't think he's going to be very happy with that. Jude coming out of the pits in front of Santi now. Wait, actually behind Santi, never mind that. As what happened to Larknight? Larknight's in P2 now, obviously, yeah. King Hassan having overtaken Not Earth is now up in P3. Jude overtaking Santi with DRS. King Hassan now in P3, trying to catch up to Larknight, but losing a lot of time out of Sector 2. Not Earth not able to catch up, to keep up with the pack on those soft tires. He's gonna have to pit now. He overused those soft tires at the start, and that's kind of why I think that Singapore isn't an ideal track, personally. I mean, it just eats up those tires like crazy. You can already see Not Earth going wide there, struggling for a grip as Shadowstorm saves a massive spin. Wow, good job. Not Earth losing the position to choose now. Not Earth is gonna have to pit now. He will have to pit. Len's trying to keep up with Shadowstorm, but he's just got no chance. He's got no chance. Sogi has increased his gap by 9 seconds in 4 laps. That's just crazy. Lark Knight now. Sogi, our first driver to get a penalty, 3 seconds. So, unlucky there. As Lark Knight is catching up to King Hassan, trying to keep that gap, but also the mediums are, what it seems like, they're starting to struggle a bit. So that's going to be quite interesting to watch. As Not Earth is hot on the tail of Choose, trying to catch up again, trying to make those soft tires work, but those tires are just done. They're done, Not Earth. Pit. Box now, please. Don't suffer needlessly, as he locks up quite a bit, but manages to make it stick. Not Earth now going into the box, going into the pits to put on. What tires will I put on? As someone seems to have taken out our speed limit board there. Oh, Not Earth going into the pits for mediums. So he will. Oh, look at those tires, they're done. As Not Earth is stalling and completely missed exiting the pits there. Just slipped. Shadowstorm is already catching up to Choose after Shadow's unfortunate spin at the start. As Shadow is now sliding around the track like crazy. As Choose has gotten a penalty, I'm sorry, it's the curse of being a steward as well, you just have to switch back and forth here. Shadowstorm now catching up to Choose. Choose also catching up to Lark Knight, so that's gonna be a game of DRS chicken. As I just accidentally screamed at the wrong people here. Oops. That's fun, isn't it? Alright, so... As everyone now is just it's just somehow in no man's land. So Len's the only one slightly able to make a move, as Not Earth has pitted up for mediums, Jude also pitting for mediums, Santi pitting for hard, so he's going a different direction than everyone else, as Liran has DNF'd. Let's see. He's retired on track for whatever reason. Bruh. as I'm just asking what happened. Because why would you retire on track? It was going fairly well. But that's the curse of sim racing, as Lenz is making a move on Choose, making the move stick around the outside, now through the inside into the next DRS zone. Choose getting that DRS and defending like a champ. His ERS is strained, however, Lenz doing a much better job of managing it. Tommy just now realized that it's Singapore. Yes, Tommy, it's Singapore. Read the announcements, please. There's a reason why we do them. As Lenz is still fighting Choose through that hairpin, unable to follow as closely as he would probably like. Now catching up through that DRS zone, but he won't be able to make a move, or will he? Diving down the inside, having to go slow, and now making the move stick with DRS. Maybe Juice is fighting back. As Juice squeezes him to the inside there, defending like a true racing driver, as he now goes to the pits to fit new tires, and he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Yeah. As I'm getting a ping back. As Leron is telling us now that he put on the wrong setup and has just been fighting the car. Alright, so as we go through our route, and let's go through penalties actually. I'm sorry, I've just been kind of distracted. So Sogi, our leader, with a 13-second gap, 14-second gap behind him actually. Absolutely dominating the field, but he does have a 3-second penalty to his name, so he has to be careful to not get even more track limit penalties. King Hassan, again, a 13-second gap ahead. He will probably not catch up unless Sogi makes a terrible strategy call. King Hassan currently on the hard tires. Shadowstorm now on the mediums, up into P3 already. He had a spin earlier, started from P2, had to fight his way back into the podium positions, and is now firmly planted there. On the mediums, no penalties there. Jude gets real, also with no penalties, also on the mediums, but 8 seconds behind Shadowstorm. So his podium hopes are swindling. Lark Knight, a full pit stop behind Jude gets real, as might be a good idea to check. Lark Knight actually losing a lot of time to Jude, as actually, hold on, everyone from the top 3 has not pitted yet, so it will be, as Lark Knight hits the wall, that's not going to be good for Tiger Rare. He is pushing on those soft tires, however, so I'm giving him 4 laps, maybe 5, to truly catch up to Jude, but then he'll just have to pit again because those tires are gonna be gone. As Not Earth is slowly catching Larkanite, not Earth on 4-lap old mediums, Lens having recently pitted for hard tires, so that's gonna be interesting. Only 6.5 seconds behind Not Earth. Choose the kit 6 seconds behind on new mediums, also one stop, and 13 seconds behind. I'm sorry, new hearts. I meant new hearts. Santi. Now, on those hard tires, on relatively fresh hard tires, I believe. Yeah, 6-lap old. And Lewis Celtic with, I believe, 6 seconds worth of penalties. A whole 32 seconds behind, with only one stop done, so that's a race to forget as he goes wide again. Alright, so I will leave you here for a while, as I just need a quick bathroom break. As I am back, I'm sorry for the quick absence, I just had to take a quick bathroom break. So, Dr. Law, I'm sorry for not answering your question what happened with Shadow. He had a spin in lap 1, but he's already in P2, Sogi having pitted. As I'm questioning some claims from Dr. Law, and that's actually curious. Never mind that, as Lewis Celtic has retired. That's the only right thing to do in those circumstances. So I just tested the mic and no. When I press the mute button, which I did, it mutes, so. Yeah, you were absolutely unsuccessful in that. Like, as Not has retired, he has crashed, it seems. For fuck's sakes, Law. Fuck's sakes, Law. As I'm just asking Not what happened. Ah. So he also used a bad setup, even though he was doing well, as Sogi is back up into P2. Shadow, oh, going over that white line. That's a no-go. But he won't receive a penalty for that, unfortunately. Oh, Shadow hits the wall again. Shadow now on those hard tires. It's his first stop this race, actually. So let's go through tires. Sogi having done his first stop as well, already up into P2. Pushing on those mediums, trying to get past Jude as quickly as he can. Jude is gonna defend that position, or not. Never mind that. Thought he was gonna fight a bit more there. Jude without DRS now, he will not be able to keep up. It would have been a Herculean task anyway with 10 Lapo mediums. Lark Knight, our league owner, in P3 as there's a crash. Jude has crashed. Let's see what happened as there's a virtual safety car. Jude did not crash. Jude. Oh, actually, Jude crashed. Yeah, he must have hit the wall there. So there is a virtual safety car. Jude, using that to his advantage, pitting for fresh hard tires. Shadowstorm is going to be furious now because he was unable to capitalize on that as Jude gets out ahead of him. And I believe Jude is the only one who has used all the tires. He's the only one who has completed that requirement for the social race. So King Hassan probably now furious as well, as he is going to be fighting Lark Knight for those podium positions for P2 and P3. It's going to be an interesting one after the virtual safety car. Now, of course, our race winner is fairly clear. It's fairly obvious that it's going to be Zogi, unless, of course, as VSC has now ended Lark Knight pulling away from Hassan. Hassan managing to keep up, however, just can't talk today, can I? As King Hassan does not make a move down the straight, he will wait, he will bide his time with the next DRS zone, moving alongside and getting that position. Lark Knight having no chance on those old softs. He will have to pit now. He'll have to pit now as he goes on. Never mind that. Lark Knight has gone into the Shadow Realm as there's another virtual safety car. What were you doing, mate? What was that? As King Hassan has received a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. As I'm just gonna ask Lark Knight what the heck that was. Looked almost intentional. Hassan is, Lark Knight. As Lark Knight has committed suicide by pit wall, we have yet another VSC. As King Hassan is complaining about the penalty. It's the game, you just gotta deal with it, unfortunately. Now, of course, capitalizing from that, or well, is no one, because no one pitted during the safety car period, so that's an interesting take. I would have expected people to pit now, as Jude is gonna be in prime position now to take that lead. 18 seconds roughly behind the leader, behind Sogi on fresh hard, so Sogi will have to use all the pace left in those tires to make a gap big enough to pit and to get those hard tires ready for racing against Jude. Jude will have a massive advantage now with the hard tires being in the perfect window. Wait, actually, let me... Hold on. My bad. Sogi will have the soft tires. Sogi will have the soft tires now. When he pits next, as will King Hassan. So that's actually going to be really interesting to watch, as Sogi and King Hassan both with a tire advantage against our, who is most likely going to be our next race leader, Jude. So I'm going to be expecting Sogi and Hassan to pit at around lap 25 or lap 26, as people are complaining that this one was the worst social race. I can't disagree. As I will remind people that purposefully crashing out, as King Hassan is going into the pits, he's serving his drive-through penalty, of course. He has to serve it now. King Hassan losing a massive amount of time due to that unfortunate penalty. As he's now all the way back in P5 and still has one pit stop to go. So it's safe to say that he'll be at the very back of the grid once he does that pit stop. Anyway, as I see a lot of talk about pinning it on purpose, no. That's just a race ban. I don't care. Crashing out on purpose or crashing other people out on purpose, yeah, no. Shadowstorm is catching up to Jude. Shadowstorm now, of course, capitalizing on that strategy. No, not on that penalty from King Hassan. If Jude is smart, he will let Shadow by now. As I'm getting a bit tired, because this race really hasn't been the most exciting. We're watching 6 cars go around in a squiggly circle. As I have a ping in another Stewart's thing. Huh? Oh god, as... as I'm getting a... Huh? I'm curious, as Lipo has applied to be a steward, but firstly, I don't get why. He's a really good driver. Why would he be a steward and risk getting distracted by that? As well as you know, the actual fact that the explanation was I can make a correct decision, which could be seen as a jab at Shadowstorm has gotten by. Jude Gets Real now. Jude Gets Real is gonna be trying to keep up with Shadow, trying to, you know, he's not gonna be fighting him. He's not gonna be fighting Dr. Law saying he doesn't like Stewart that race. As Lenz has retired, Lenz has crashed out. At a really interesting place. Now, how can you crash out there? As we won't have a safety car this time, luckily. As 5 people are left in this race. This has been absolutely scandalous. Jude gets real. Is he fighting for position? Is he actually fighting for position? That would be a grave mistake. He just has to keep his nose clean, follow Shadow, who is about the same pace as Sogi, and then capitalize on Sogi having to pit again. As we'll now check to see who is missing a pit stop. Everyone but Jude. Everyone but Jude still has 1 pit stop to go. Jude has executed this strategy absolutely flawlessly, if he doesn't lose time fighting Shadowstorm, of course. Like, if Shadowstorm has to pit, Jude doesn't have to care about Shadowstorm. Shadowstorm's gonna end up behind him no matter what. He just has to keep his nose clean for a few laps until Sogi has to pit, which he probably will around lap 25, 26. I am predicting it now. Anyone who doubts me, please try making a bid against me. So, Dr. Law, what are your thoughts on this race, since you're pretty much the only one in the chat right now? Or, well, active in the chat at least. As Jude is slowly losing time to Shadow. That was to be expected. Now Jude is on older tires. But all in all, they are catching up to Sogi, so this is going to be an interesting last 10 laps. We have completed 2/3 of the race, and more than half of our drivers have, crashed out. As Dr. Law just responded, bad versus Singapore is what he thinks, which, fair enough. Fair enough, man. Personally, I really like Singapore as a track, but I just think the quality in the league isn't at a point where we can use street circuits yet. We saw it with Jeddah a few weeks ago, where it was absolute mayhem. Same with Monaco, which we removed from the calendar. Even though people would have wanted to race there, it was just not worth the drama. Baku, I think, is not on the calendar either, neither is Vegas, because all of those tracks require a certain amount of car control, which a lot of the slow drivers here do not have, unfortunately. So yeah, Santi is this next driver to go into the pits. He will be fitting the medium tires, but I don't think it will matter, as he as Sogi gets another penalty. This is huge. Jude could go for the win now. Jude could get the win. Sogi has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. If he manages to prevent Sogi from making a large enough gap after pitting, he will win. Jude may have just executed pretty much the best version of any strategy today, as Shadowstorm and Sogi both have penalties. Let's see. Zogi on 10 lap old mediums. Those mediums aren't going to be holding up for much longer. He is going to have to pit for the soft soon. So Zogi with 6 seconds worth of penalties as he clips the wall. Zogi destroying his front wing. He will lose a massive amount of time through this section, through the hairpin, as he will be absolutely furious. That's crazy. Locking up left and right there. He will have to pit now. He has to pit. And then he's gonna have to do 8 laps on those softs. And he locks up like crazy here. Santi, of course, being one of the lapped cars, unlapping himself. As Sogi now in the pits, going in for a new front wing and a soft set of tires. Really unfortunate. Oh, I just briefly thought he was going to pit for the mediums. That would have been a disqualification if he didn't get the softs on. As Jude gets real now, taking the lead. Shadowstorm capitalizing on that opportunity against Sogi, getting on a new set of medium tires. Hold on. As Shadowstorm has made a mistake. Shadowstorm still has to pit. Shadowstorm still needs softs. He has made a massive miscalculation and gets a 10-second time penalty for crossing the white line on pit exit. So Shadowstorm, clearly one of the losers of this race. And Sogi, of course, charging ahead, trying to get every ounce of pace out of those soft tires to catch up to Jude. Sogi has to gain 16 seconds on Jude if he wants to win this race, with 7-ish laps remaining. So that's gonna be incredibly difficult to pull off. But as we can see, he's already gained a second, as Sogi just pushing his car around, getting purple sector after purple sector. 2 seconds on his outlap. He has gained 2 seconds on his outlap, so this will actually be a really close finish. Jude will have to defend like a proper racing driver to take that lead, to take that win. Because effectively Sogi is in the lead now, and King Hassan will finish on the podium. King Hassan will finish on the podium. Never mind that. He still has to pit. Let's see who has to pit. Let's see who has to pit. As King Hassan is the only one who still had to pit. If he goes on the softs now, he will have... As Shadowstorm gets another 3-second penalty. It's really not been his day, has it? Is King Hassan now fitting those soft tires, maybe capitalizing on Shadowstorm's failure to comply with the rules to finish in P3. Sogi already only 5.5 seconds behind Jude. He's absolutely flying through here. As we have a lot of new people joining the Discord server, so that's always exciting. As Sogi only 4.3 seconds behind Jude. And this is gonna be a nail-biting finish. So for those who are just joining in, even though barely anyone has joined, to be honest. Sogi setting the fastest lap of a 1:31.5, by the way. So today's social race was all about strategy. The drivers had to use all available tire compounds, except for wet tires, of course. So they had to use soft, mediums and hards as Sogi sets another purple sector going by there. However, he has to be careful not to get another penalty, otherwise his hopes and dreams are going to be gone today. However, he's already 2 seconds behind Jude, destroying that 10-second gap that was there 2 laps ago, as he might actually get the RS. Nah, he just doesn't get the RS here. Just barely doesn't get the RS. As we are set for a defensive masterclass for Jude if he wants to take that win. So Sogi now within the RS range, not getting it this lap, but he will get it on the start finish straight and continuing through to the straight between sector 1 and sector 2. So I think we can't doubt Sogi taking the lead this lap, and he will have to pull out a 6-second gap on soft tires that are most likely gonna die out soon. Sogi 3 tenths behind Notworth. Almost running into the back of him. Now with the RS open, will he make a move? Yes, he will. Jude swerving to the inside, trying to cut him off. Sogi going around the outside and taking the lead and locking up actually. Barely avoiding that wall. So Jude unable to defend against a charging Sogi. Already losing a second to him within barely a sector. So this is looking incredibly likely to be a victory for Sogi. As ChronicleBot has tried. Who the heck is ChronicleBot? Lord, please explain. Alright, as we have four or five laps to go, and I'm really bad at counting, to be honest. Jude already losing 2 seconds. Let's see how many warnings Sogi has. Let's actually see. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Sogi is only 1 warning away from getting another penalty for track limit extension, so he will have to be incredibly careful, because otherwise it will be impossible. Jude already, his pace is already falling off. Jude already able to keep up. And there's only 3 seconds to go for Sogi, but he can't push too much. He will lose grip now, as those soft tires really aren't looking too good now. Especially with Sogi's driving style. It's a very sharp style, which is absolutely going to destroy tires as he locks up the rear tires. This is actually going to be incredibly close, as Equinosa has retired on track, and there's a virtual safety car. Equinosa, Shadowstorm, retiring. And that's perfect for Jude. That is absolutely perfect. King Hassan now takes P3. Santi in P4. I mean, Santi last to finish, but still P4. That's just crazy. As Jude is losing time to Sogi. That can't be. That's odd. As we have our 3rd virtual safety car of the day with 3 laps actually, 2.5 laps remaining. As Shadow is saying he sold the win. What do you mean by that? As DRS is enabled again, Jude gets real, has lost no time at all. He has gained 2 temps, 3 temps. due to that virtual safety car, it came at the perfect moment for him, as he now just has to stay behind Sogi. He just can't lose 3 seconds in 3 laps, 2.5 laps now. So that should be very possible for Sogi, as I'm kind of on the edge of my seat, as I'm really hoping that Jude gets that win. He deserves it. He executed that strategy so perfectly now. Sogi too, of course, obviously. Okay, as Shadow is now giving us a bit background, so for those who don't know, he has had pedal issues with this new game. So he had to bind his accelerator to his clutch. And not the brake. What do you mean? Did you bind your brake to the clutch at first? That's really odd. And then some guy apparently smashed him into the wall as Shu gets real. He's losing a lot of time. He's already 5 seconds behind, so he will have to push like crazy now to stay within that 1 second. So he, of course, the fast driver on faster tires, but faster and dying tires. So that will be incredibly close. So you're locking up now, and getting a perfect exit. I don't know how he does it. I really don't know. As I'm getting incredibly tired now. So he hitting the wall a bit. That's not going to be good for tire wear, but he doesn't care. He's managed to get those 6 seconds he needs. 5.5. He's losing time to Not-Earth. Not-Earth had a brilliant second sector there. Sogi, of course, 2 seconds slower than his initial best lap that he set just a few minutes prior. Just before the safety car, actually. So he is losing a lot of time. His tires are just not it anymore. As he almost goes wide there. He's got to be careful as we now enter our final lap. And we have to watch that gap just hover between 5.5 and 6 seconds. As Sogi goes wide again, does not get a penalty for that. Not-Earth trying his best to use his battery to stay within those 6 seconds, but he's just unable to. As the gap is shrinking again, this is absolutely crazy. Sogi locking up with both front tires, barely hitting the wall, almost hitting the wall there. And he's just using his car to the best, using his grip to the best of his ability through that tight middle sector now. Jude managed to gain 5/10 on him through there earlier, but he's now losing massively through there. Or wait, he's not. He is, yeah. So this race will come down to barely 5/10 of a second. As Jude. Now, he's losing time on that straight. Sogi locking up. He will go on to finish in P1 no matter the penalties. He has done it. He is our race winner with Not-Earth. Oh, spinning it on that last lap. I think, yeah, he just tried to push it too hard there. GG's, y'all. King Hassan, miles behind the competition. It's still finishing in P4 unless he bins it. So that, P3 I mean. So that's a podium for Hassan. Now finishing his last lap. I'm tired. I don't know what to say anymore, to be honest. As you can see, the fireworks approaching. King Hassan finishing it in P3. Almost putting it in the wall there, but the AI just preventing him from doing that. Santi 26 seconds behind him. As we just have to wait for him to finish. Which, you know, the most annoying thing about him, his helmet does not match his car. That's a cardinal sin, as he now goes over the finish line to finish P4 and last, as we have had a lot of DNFs today. So yeah, this has been our final social race for a while actually, as we are back with regular race action in, what was it, a week? Yeah, actually next week. We'll be back next week with the Spanish Grand Prix and continuing our championship fight. So yeah, goodbye. See ya. I've been Ari, your commentator. And have fun actually watching F1 instead of a pretty bad quality social race. Right, see y'all.